Hi guys, this is the third time I'm trying to record this video because it just started dispersing my thoughts all around. So let's hope this time is the right one. So I wanted to stop by really quickly to talk about something that I have been noticing in myself and others lately, and it's boundaries. I talk about it a lot. And I think most importantly, we need to establish boundaries with ourselves because a lot of the times we don't even know like where our boundaries are. And I feel like this type of people who, like me, myself included, tended to please other people and be the best at everything, be very A-type, trying to do everything that is correct and so on, like do everything by the book, not disappoint their parents and so on. I think that there comes a time when these people just explode. And sometimes it comes more often, sometimes it can like go into an existential crisis or something like that. But basically, if we take a classical psychology definition, which I don't really like, but just for the sake of it, of a neurotic type person, it's a person whose development has been hindered between the ages of like 10 to 17 or something like that. And they basically were brought up in an environment where they were given conditional love. So now they're trying to be good for everyone and they're trying to be like really organized, really well behaved and so on. So they're too nice, basically. They're trying to earn their love. They don't trust in themselves. They don't really feel that they deserve good things and so on. And this leads them to behave in a way that, for example, constantly violates our own boundaries. For example, a really silly one. You go to a party and usually you go to bed at 11 and you know that if you don't go to bed by 11 tomorrow you will wake up for work and you will be tired and so on. So you go to the party and it's 9 and you know that if you leave right now you will be at home on time for you to go to bed and be chill and so on. And you feel guilty for leaving because everyone is still there and no one is leaving and you feel like you're not going to be invited the next time. But in the end, if you feel like leaving, you should be okay with just saying, okay, I had really good time with you guys, but it's time for me to go and I will see you next time. I hope you have a really nice time without me and just go. Should be really simple, right? But a lot of, like, this is a really silly example, but a lot of the times we don't do it because we kind of think that people have expectations of us, which sometimes even is not really true. And we try to fulfill all these expectations and we drive ourselves crazy because we cannot live by expectations of other people of us. And what I have noticed lately, for me, unfortunately, it had to take me like several really stressful life situations at the same time for me to just stop and say, okay, now I'm putting myself first. I don't give a what anyone says anymore because it's now the matter of like my health and survival and so on. And I need to learn putting myself first because if not, like there is soon not going to be anyone to put first. And I started saying no. So first I took a month of a break from a job that was causing a lot of physical damage to my health. And I just said, I don't care. I'm taking a month of a break. You're not paying me. I need this. I am like, this is non-negotiable. And luckily nothing really depends on me because I just started, so I can afford to do that. But even if still, like, your health is much more important, for example, and you can do nothing about it. And it went well. Like my boss didn't want to give me the break, but like he had no choice because in the end, like, what is he gonna fire me? Like, well, fire me, better. Also with like people respond really well to boundaries. There's experiments like the Zimbardo experiment where they electrocuted people who gave the wrong answers, and the Stanford prison experiment. Like, they're not experiments to show that people are actually horrible creatures. They're the experiments to show that people will behave accordingly to the tasks that they're given because people don't like to make decisions and people are really into being told what to do, actually, because that takes a lot of responsibility from us. And when you start telling people about your boundaries, even in interpersonal relationship, which was my personal weak spot before, because I was like, oh, I need to be nice to everyone and I need to like do everything that everyone expects of me because otherwise no one is going to love me and I will be left alone and so on. And in the last time, like, I'm in a new city, I'm meeting new people who don't really know me as a person. And of course, like, I started not going out, but like, meeting people who like invite you places and so on. And before, I would do things like go places that I wouldn't really do, like eat things that I don't really like and so on, just to be nice and be pleasant and so on, so that like people won't stop inviting me. And right now, because I was in such a crisis, I just stopped doing that. And I started saying, like, these are my boundaries. This is what I'm up for, and this is what I'm not up for. This is how much you can expect from me, and this is what I'm not gonna do, even if you really want it. And this is this and this and this is what I don't do, don't eat, don't drink, don't blah blah blah. And take it or leave it. Like, I mean, you are free to go if you don't want to. This is what I can offer you. And I was being very like honest from the very beginning, and people respond amazingly well to boundaries. Like, people just actually do whatever you kind of honestly tell them you're willing to do or ready to do, and they really accept it and they're really fine with it. And it was such a surprise for me, because you're not doing it from the place of like superiority. You're not saying, oh my god, I'm so much better than you, so now I'm gonna push you around and do stuff. You give them the opportunity to actually not accept these conditions, because you're like, okay, if you want to like spend time with me, I also want to spend time with you, but I'm totally fine if you're not gonna do it like on the conditions that I'm ready to accept, and these are my terms and conditions. And they can offer you their terms and conditions, and then you can, like, it sounds a little bit kind of transactional, and I agree that maybe it doesn't sound very romantic, but this is what actually makes your life so much better. Because right now I can honestly tell people that, like, I don't want to do it and I don't want to do it. Like, even if I feel that it will leave them disappointed, it's not my problem in the end, because their emotions is their responsibility. Moral of the story here is basically, don't overdrive yourself into health problems like I did by constantly trying to fulfill everyone's expectations around you. Like, sit down with yourself and try to understand what your boundaries are, what you are willing and not willing to accept from other people, what kind of people actually bring value into your life and which do not. And in some cases, for example, there are people that you're so used to having in your life, and then you don't contact them for a couple of months, and you notice how much better your life has actually become, and then you start questioning yourself, why even do you need this person in your life, and if you really actually want to continue the connection and communication with them. And the more you start listening to yourself, establishing boundaries with people, some people probably will fall off. In my case, it didn't happen. Probably some people or groups or jobs will fall out of your life. This is fine, because why do you actually want something in your life that completely disrespects your boundaries and continuously violates what you say that is not good for you? You don't need that, and you don't want that. And of course, it's not very easy, because change is not easy, but I bet that this change is actually really, really good. I hope that you take my example, and I hope that it doesn't take you as much suffering and mental crisis as it took me this time. But I'm really grateful for this experience, because I've learned a lot, and I feel like I have matured a lot, and now I can actually take responsibility for my own well-being without expecting other people to like validate me or give me stuff. So I wish that for you as well. And actually, yeah, so if you were wondering, I'm doing much better, although I was sick for the last week maybe, but I mean, I feel better now. So I hope you're doing very well. Tell me your thoughts on the topic in the comments. Just say hi, and yeah, tell me something about yourself. If you want, you don't have to. If you don't want to. Yeah, be kind to yourself, be kind to everyone else. Love you very much. See you in the next video. Bye.